Hello students, welcome back. Okay, today we are going to start with the second chapter, Microorganism, Friend and Foe. Okay, now microorganism, friend. Now you all know, you might be all having friends. So what are friends? I need not tell you more. So you know what are friends. What about foe? Foe, enemies. I think so you all know the current situation. It's all because of the microorganisms being our enemy, that is foe. And this situation has made, the whole world topsy-turvy. And, everything is at standstill, right? And who is responsible for that? The very minute microorganism, virus, which you cannot see even. You cannot see with our naked eyes. It's not possible to see this coronavirus with our naked eyes. But we all are scared. We cannot, move freely, enjoy life freely. We cannot do whatever you want to do, going out. Like you people cannot enjoy playing with your friends and all. Who is responsible? Microorganism. That is virus, right? So I know you all will be eager to know more about these microorganisms, and today's chapter deals with this microorganism. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing, what are microorganisms, right? Now let's see what are microorganisms. Now, can you see the beautiful organisms here? They look so colorful and beautiful, but they are good also and bad also for us, right? Now, let's see what are microorganisms. Now, microorganisms are the small organisms which are microscopic in nature. Microscopic, which you cannot see with your naked eyes. Now, for example, I will tell you a small ant. It can be very, very small, but you can see with this with your naked eye. Or if I tell you an example of a small particle of salt, you can see it. But if anything smaller than that, it will be difficult for you to see with our naked eyes, right? So these organisms are so minute that you cannot see with your naked eyes, and so they are micro, means very, very, very small, right? An organism, you all know what are organisms. So microorganisms are very small, very, very small organisms which you cannot see with our naked eyes. Now, the study of microorganism is called as microbiology. Children, in science, study of life is nothing but biology, we call it. What we call it? Biology. Now, in biology, there are two streams. That is, one is botany and the other is zoo. Botany deals with study of plants and zoo deals with study of animals, right? Now, microbiology, it is dealing with study of these small little creatures, right? And so the branch name is microbiology. Okay. Before we go for microbiology, before we go for the next topic, that is microscope, as I said, this microorganism cannot be seen with our naked eyes. We can see only under a particular instrument called as microscope. Children, for your information, first microscope, compound microscope, was firstly invented by a scientist named Tony Phillips van Leeuwenhoek. Now, Actually, this scientist, he was not a scientist. Yes, you heard right. He was not a scientist. He was a merchant who used to check the fabrics, right? And he used to use small lenses to check these fabrics. Now, what used to happen actually, many a time whenever he used to use those lenses, he was not happy with those lenses. And so one fine day, he thought of making his own instrument to see check this fabric. And this is how the first microscope was invented. Isn't it an interesting story? Yes. So this microscope is a scientific instrument which you see today, which is used to enlarge the object, to make the object look bigger in size, right? And a compound microscope, if you see a microscope picture which I have shown you, you have already studied in 6th standard about a microscope, right? Even in 7th standard you have studied about it, because you have seen many slides under the microscope, right? So now this instrument which I am sharing the picture with you is called as a compound microscope. You can see that a compound microscope has two lenses. It has an eyepiece through which you can see the particular object. The object is placed on the stage here. Can you see the labeling of a stage? Yes, there actually the slide is placed. Down you can see a mirror. This mirror is used for adjusting the light that falls, right? And that light gets reflected and you can see the object, right, from the eyepiece. So this is a compound microscope which is usually used in the laboratories, right? So a microscopic organism we cannot see with our naked eyes, but we can see with the compound microscope. Children, are you interested to know how you can make your own microscope at home? Excited? Yes, you can make your own microscope. I am sharing a link with you in which video is shown how you can make your own microscope at home. And watch this, small creatures moving. Are you ready to do it? So please, if you are interested, please get started. You can watch this link and make your own microscope, right? So please do watch this link. Okay. I hope you have seen this link. Was it interesting to know that you can make your own microscope? Okay. Now, these microscopic organisms, when I said that these are microscopic and very small, where are they found then? Children, do you know these microorganisms are found everywhere? Everywhere. You can find this microorganism in the soil, your garden soil, rivers, in plants, animals, even in your tap water. Or now if you're watching uh, uh, what we can say video, holding a mobile phone, on that also it will be there, on your keyboard laptop it will be there, on your bed, on your pillow, on your body also these microorganisms are present. My God, so these microorganisms are present everywhere. Are you getting it? So microorganisms are found everywhere. In environment, they are found in all type of environment, rain, like from ice cold water, right? From the in the glaciers, you can say, in the hot springs, in the desert, and even in the marshy land. So everywhere you will get to see this microorganisms. Now, I want to share an interesting fact with you. Children, do you know that there are 100 trillion bacteria in and around your body right now also? Some estimate says that each human has a pound or two of bacteria living in their guts at all time. What is meaning of gut? Your whole digestive system, right? From your mouth, yes, to the esophagus and all the organs of the digestive system, it's gut, right? So the average human playing a host to around 100 trillion microorganisms give and take takes place in your body. Now we are estimated to have around 1,500 bacteria living on each square centimeter of our skin, on of your hand also. My God. So there are microorganisms everywhere. We are surrounded with microorganisms, right? Okay, now let's find out the different types of microorganisms. Children, actually there are four different types of microorganisms. The first one is bacteria. Can, in detail, we are going to study all these types. Okay, now just understand that bacteria, fungus, protozoa, and algae, actually these are the different types of microorganism. Common, we can say, microorganisms. Now, the next is virus, which we are nowadays very much familiar of. Viruses are also microscopic. They, however, reproduce inside the cell of a host organism. It can be a bacteria, it can be a plant or an animal. But children, interesting fact about this virus is, till 1930, viruses were not known to human beings, because in 1930, actually the electron microscope was invented, and viruses were known to us after that, because they are so minute, they are so small that they are smaller than the bacteria, and we could see these viruses in under the electron microscope only, right? So now, I hope you all know that I shared the slide of different types of viruses, that is HIV and Ebola, and you know, uh, so many rabies virus. Oh my God, all the viruses, influenza, you can see the names. These are all names of different diseases. And now comes the big brother, we can say, the coronavirus, right? So maximum viruses, you can see the names of all diseases. We're going to study about all this in detail. Now let's come back. The first type of microorganism, that is bacteria. Now, bacteria are unicellular. I think so. You all know unicellular, multicellular, single cell, unicellular. They are found in colonies. Means single cell of bacteria is not found. They are in groups, that is in colonies. They are found in different shapes, and according to their shapes, they have different names. Like, if they are spherical, they are called as spherical bacteria. If they are rod shaped, they are called as rod bacteria, or it is called as bacillia. Spherical is called as cocci. Now, spiral, if you see the shape, it's like a spiral, and so it's called as spiral also. So these are the bacteria, right? Now, I have shared the picture also of spherical. Can you see this all shapes? Okay, let's go for the next one, fungi. Now, fungi, now these look like plants. Can you see this beautiful fungi? They are looking just like plants, but they don't have chlorophyll. They lack in chlorophyll. They are saprophytic. Now, last year you have studied what are saprophytic. That is, they feed on dead and decaying matter. Correct. Parasitic also, right? What do you mean by parasitic? They live on the host, right? For example, yes, which feeds on our ready-made blood made by us. So they are parasitic mosquitoes. Cuscuta plant, right? which feeds on the host plant. So parasitic. For example of fungi, mushroom, yeast, mold, these are called as what we can say fungi. I hope you remember that, the bread gets spoiled and the thread like structure that grows on the bread, fungi, right? Fungi, or plural we call it as funguses, right? So this is about fungi. Now, protozoa. Yes, if you see these protozoa, they are heterotropic. Children, autotropic, heterotropic, I hope you know. Heterotropic, the animals or plants which depends on other for food, especially the animals depends on other for food. They are heterotropic. We human beings, we are not autotropic. We don't have chlorophyll to prepare our food, right? So we are heterotropic, dependent on plants and animal for food. So next, they are mostly aquatic. Aquatic, found in water. Example, paramecium, amoeba, euglena. Children, one thing, if you see the pictures of these protozoas, one thing common you can see, these organisms have a special features for movement. Like, if you see this paramecium, the first picture will have cilia. Cilia, thread-like structure. Can you see? Small thread-like structure. The cilias help in movement, moving from one place to another. Amoeba, all know. Pseudopodia, false foot, right? This is used for locomotion or movement. Euglena, if you see, flagellum. Can you see this hair-like structure? Flagellum, which is helpful in movement, that is from moving from one place to another, right? So they have a special organism, what we can say, for movement. They have a particular structure. Right now, algae, I hope you all have been to a pond side and seen something green floating on water, right? Algae. Now most of them are found in colonies and they are mostly aquatic in nature. They are filamentous. Can you see this Pyrogera, right? Can you see the filament? Yes, so they are filamentous. Algae are multicellular. Multicellular, many-celled. Example is Spirogera and Volvox, right? So this is about algae. And let's come back to the great brother, that is virus. You all are, eager to know more and more about it nowadays, right? Everyone is behind this viruses. Yes. Now, what are viruses? As I told you, they were unknown to everyone before 1930. Now, these viruses are again microscopic organisms that come alive only when they are inside the host organism. Children, the meaning says that if these viruses are outside, they behave as if they are not active, we can say, when they are outside the host. But when they enter the organism, let it be a bacteria, let it be a human being, let it be a plant, as soon as they enter the body of any living organism, they start multiplying. They start dividing, right? And then these viruses, when they start multiplying or dividing, they divide very fast, right? Fast in sense, 2, from 2, 4, 4, 4, 8, from 8, 16. So they multiply very fast. So viruses lie, actually, these are on the borderline of living and non-living organism. Maximum viruses are harmful, as I said before also. They are not our friends. They are our enemies, we can say. Ebola, Hanta, HIV, Measles, Hepatitis, common cold, smallpox, polio, and many, many, many more. The list is, a very big list. And now comes the coronavirus, right? So these are what we can say viruses, right? Now, children, these microorganisms actually play an important role in our life, right? As I said before also, they are everywhere, but still, though they are present everywhere, all viruses are not dangerous, right? Some are useful, some are harmful. So let's one by one check how they are useful and how they are harmful, right? If I have shared this slide, how useful they are and how harmful they are, right? Now, let's start with the first one. Let's start with the positive side, right? So let's start with the microorganisms which are useful to us. Now, useful organisms, microorganisms, as I said, they are useful to the people, they are useful to ecosystem also. People to us in the form of food as well as medicine. To ecosystem because they decompose and then recycle the nutrients. I will be teaching you in detail how they work. So let's start with microorganism in food, how we are intaking this microorganism in food form. See the picture. Yes, many things, you all might be liking, right? So first thing, microorganisms are useful in making curd. Yes, delicious curd. I hope many of you might be liking this, right? So this curd is made from, actually we can say, by bacterias. The milk is turned into curd by bacterias, right? And if you see, the curd contains several microorganisms, including the main bacteria that is called as lactobacillus bacteria, right? So this lactobacillus actually, it promotes information of curd from milk. When little of this pre-made curd is added into a warm milk, the lactobacillus bacteria present in the curd multiply in milk and convert this lactic sugar or lactose sugar, we can say, into lactic acid. And this is how we can say the curd is formed, which is, many a time used. It's very delicious and healthy also. Children, do you want to know the benefits of curd? Yes, I am sharing this video which will show you, or which will tell you how, what are the different benefits of curds, right? When you eat curd, what, how your body gets benefited. So please watch this video. Yes, the picture is very yummy. It's about cheese, right? Now, the second important use of the microorganism to humans is nothing but formation of cheese. Yes, I think so. Everyone is imagining a cheese pizza now, right? Okay, cheese is made the same way by curding the milk, except the milk is curd on purpose, right? That is, after milk is poured into the big vats, a starter culture of bacteria is added to convert this lactose into lactic acid. Now, what is added? That enzyme is called as rennet, is added to curdle the milk. Now, when actually this is done, most of the cheese nowadays is made in the factories, right? And children, do you want to know what is this ingredient called rennet, and which makes your cheese so yummy? And when you remove that slice of that particular cheese pizza and you get the stretching of that particular cheese, do you know why it happens? It is possible only because of rennet. You want to know what is rennet? So the key ingredient to watch out for a cheese making is animal rent. Now, what is this rent? Is an enzyme used to settle the cheese during the process of making this cheese. Stirring into the vat of a cultured milk, it causes the milk to coagulate, right? You might have seen when the milk gets spoiled, what happens? You get the milk particles getting coagulated, right? So getting together, that is called as coagulation. Separates into solid curd and liquid whey. The curd is turned into cheese. The most of the common rent traditionally used in cheese making is animal rent, which comes from, now this is what I wanted to share with you. I felt that you should know this. A lining of the fourth stomach of a young ruminant animal, that is generally a calf. Did you get it? What I said? It is a lining of the fourth stomach of a young ruminant calf. Okay. So now, all cheese are not made from this. So those are non-vegetarian, don't get panic. All the cheese are not made by animal lining stomach, right? But however, some vegetable rents are derived from plants with same coagulating property and are used nowadays. So don't feel bad, right? So these are also uh, vegetarian is also. Now, I am sharing an interesting video how to make a mozzarella cheese at home, right? I hope you will like this video. You can try if you are interested, right? And make your own pizza. Okay, now, next is fermentation. I told you about the curd, I told you about cheese. Now fermentation. You all eat fermented food, right? We all like to eat bread. So bread is made soft due to the action of yeast, which is a fungus again. Again means microorganism. The yeast ferments the sugar in the mixture to make a bubbles of carbon dioxide. Now children, I think so whenever you have when you eat what we can say bread, you might have seen the whole small pores in this bread. Do you know why these pores are? These are because of the gas that is given when it is formed, that is carbon dioxide gas, which makes actually your bread so porous and so soft. Actually, when the yeast is used in the bread, which contains both, makes the contributes to the texture and the flavor of the bread. A dough is made by mixing the yeast with the flour, salt and water, and to that what is added? Yeast is added, which ferments the bread and makes it so spongy and good for eating, right? Now uh, you okay, I am sharing this slide of yummy fermented foods that you usually use for breakfast, right? You eat for breakfast. Now here the word breakfast, children, do you know why it is called as breakfast? Actually, you all know that we eat dinner at night, and in between dinner and morning food that we eat, there is a long, what we can say, time span of more than, sometime 14 hours or 12 hours, we can say. Now, it's like fasting, right? And morning when we eat something, it is like we are breaking that fast, right? And so the name came breakfast, and we say early in the morning we have a breakfast, that is we are breaking the fast, right? Okay, let's come back now. Fermented food, idlis are considered among the healthiest breakfast in the world, since the fermented food fermentation process increase the bioavailability of proteins and also enrich the idlis with vitamin B, right? So idlis are considered, or we can say not only idlis, all the fermented food is considered to be very, very healthy, right? They are light and, balanced with carbs, that is carbohydrate, fibers, proteins, vitamins, and actually a good, what we can say, proper balanced diet food. That's why they have become so popular. All the fermented foods are having all these contains, and that makes them more and more healthier, and so they are more and more popular also. The other examples of this fermented foods that we eat, that is dosa, that idli dosa, South Indian food. Dokalas, yes, you all know it's a Gujarati dish which is very famous in Gujarat. I think so. North Indian dish is bhature, chole bhature. Out of that, bhaturas are is nothing but a fermented food again, and many more, right? And I hope you all love to eat fermented food, because they are healthier, good for your health. Do you want to know the benefits of fermented food? Yes. So I am sharing a link which will give you the benefits, which will tell you the different benefits of eating the fermented food. Please watch this video and come back to my class. Now, I am sharing another video which is about a story of different scientists. This is actually extra information I felt like sharing. Do watch it. I've taught. Okay, so see you next time, and bye-bye. Right? Okay, bye-bye, children.